Okay, guys, so he's about to walk us through. And again, whiskey blendery. This is an empty barrel. You know, this is funny because this thing's called a bung, right?
You're the only one that still laughs at that, I think.
It's like somebody says titty or something. You go, oh, man, titty.
Here, you want to open this?
Oh, yeah.
It should be easy, see?
So you screw that thing in.
Yeah, you screw it in and then you just pull it up. There you go. It was an easy one. So if you would have done that on one that was in there, it wouldn't. So you gotta really go with some force. I know you can do it. So this is an empty barrel right now. So we got this in from France. I'll turn it around so you can see. So it's laser etched orange. So there was a I don't know if it's considered a liqueur or an aperitif or something in France that they have this, and it's a higher proof. It's just under 80 proof, I think, and I think it's meant for either a pre-dinner or maybe a post-dinner, like kind of orange sipper kind of thing, almost like a dessert possibly. But anyway, so the barrel is kind of like smoky and like orange, like it. So we're gonna add a test. So barrel 123. So this is the barrel up there. So this is a 10.5 year 21% rye bourbon. So pretty good stuff. So I don't want to put the remainder of that barrel because I've only got about 70 bottles left in that barrel because it's 10.5 years old and it's been here for a couple years. So I'm going to do a test. So I'm putting 3 bottles into this barrel. Then I'll check it, tomorrow and the next day to see how the influence from this barrel has on the whiskey. Therefore, I'm only wasting 3 bottles at maximum. So
is the rye is the rye the bottle you use when you want to flavor something?
Rye is a flavoring grain. So this is a 21% rye bourbon. So it's 75% corn, 21 rye, 4% malted barley. So it has a decent amount of rye in it for flavoring. But this is mostly corn, so it's a sweeter, and like if you try just this, it's fruity, like really nice fruit. There's some green apple on it, and so I think this will pair really well with kind of like an orange. So you might have just like a total, yeah. So and I could be wrong, but that's why we do the test. So. And I'll pull it out, so I'll probably know tomorrow whether this is going to work or not.
Yeah.
And then I'll intentionally leave it in the barrel too long. So even if I'm like, hey, this is awesome, turned out great, day and a half, 2 days, like that's all we need, and then pull it out and record that in my notes, I'll leave it in there intentionally and I'll take it too far so that I know where the line is.
Now, do you put this barrel back up there to heat up faster, or do you just leave it as
because it will not take long. Like tomorrow, like maybe even by the time you leave, we could try it again and maybe even get some influence on the barrel.
So these barrels, they have quick, fast, and easy influence on.
When they're fresh, they are. Yeah. When it's fresh.
Nothing's ever been in there. This is literally a fresh, empty barrel.
Yeah. So if it's been used, so say if I used it several times, then every time it's going to change a little bit because whatever I put in there. So say I put a rye in there.
Yeah.
So now there's rye that's in the inside of the stave soaked into the wood. So whatever I put in there next is going to be influenced by the rye that I just had in there. So I have to be kind of intentional on what I put in there.
Flavor changes the flavor,
and there's no replicating what you do. So whatever happens here. So say if I fill this up and I pull it out, I can never get that same influence again from this barrel because I'm changing it every time. So it's another variable that.
And that wood is like one and done.
It could be. Yeah. It could be. You don't know. And maybe I put in a wrong whiskey that ruins this barrel for something else. And this barrel wasn't cheap, just an empty barrel, but I had it sent from France. So it's yeah. That's
like, who calls France to get a barrel, man? You think about this stuff.
Yeah, I got this in our cognac barrel from Cognac, France at the same time. So even buying 2, I mean, because we're small scale, everything's craft, like done by hand. So it'd be better if we had a huge facility and can order, 20 at a time, something. But yeah, you won't see that out of here. So you want to unscrew that, and we'll put that back in. And now I'll give you a different hammer. And just give it a few taps there. A little more.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
All right, so Tim, walk us through then how you, what are some of your favorite flavors then to play with? And here's the thing too, people, you come out to the whiskey blender, you're literally figuring out what you like and what you don't like. At some point, you're gonna be drunk, so it's not even gonna matter anymore.
Yeah, so we try to give just quarter ounce to half ounce samples of stuff because we want to keep your palate intact. So if you're drunk, you're really no good
at all
to anybody. And if your palate's blown out just because you're drinking high proof stuff, then you can't make a decision on what you like. So if you're trying to make something for a special occasion, like you guys were a part of a birthday event last weekend, so we really want to keep your palate where you can make decisions. We can line things up and we can have you say, hey, yeah, I really love the green apple from the apple brandy, or I love the sweetness from the PX sherry, or I love the dryness from this tawny port, or like whatever it is on the finishing barrel. You need to be available to know what it is. So if you're coming here just to drink and get drunk, like
this ain't your place.
Yeah, this ain't your place.
This ain't your place. Now, what was it like when you were putting together this master plan? Because, I mean, you had to learn a lot about the barrels and all this wood stuff.
Yeah, so in the master plan, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to order this orange barrel from France and like that. None of that stuff was in the plan. It's just kind of evolved. So, so as we do, as we have really good releases, and as we talk to people, and finishing is a big thing if you do it right.
Yeah.
If you do it right, if you're using a good whiskey with a fresh finishing barrel that is only a few days, so now you're adding another layer of complexity to an already good whiskey, versus taking a young whiskey or a bad whiskey, putting it in a sweet barrel for a long time to cover it up, then that we don't do that. So we've got really good barrels. And it's just kind of evolved, and we like to involve the community in the creative process. So I mean, I wouldn't have ordered this except somebody told me, hey man, I want these orange flavors. So I started looking for it and I found it and I brought it in. So I did that because somebody suggested it. So, and
mind you, his suggestions aren't coming from an unwarranted place. These are people who are oftentimes members, which means they're already paying to be involved and engulfed in the experience that the Whiskey Blendery promises and allows. So the beauty about it is when he hears a suggestion, it's a real suggestion. And worst case scenario, he's got a community of people who are probably willing to try it, especially when you're like, hey, I might only make 30, 40 bottles.
Yeah, and even if it doesn't work out, which most of the time it does, but even if it doesn't work out, well, then I learned something in that process. So I might have lost $1,000 on it, but I learned something in that process. So all this stuff is about collecting data and replicating something that is consistently high quality. So everybody's trying to make the barrels age faster and heat cycle the warehouses and all these things and collect data to make a better product faster so they can get it to market.
People, I'm gonna tell you right now, you can't make better faster. I mean, you can't make better faster. I can't repeat enough. You know, if you see me in other ways, I do dog stuff, right? And I say, you know, there are people who message, how'd you grow your following so fast? I watched all you idiots for 4 years do the exact wrong thing, and I knew exactly what to do, and it's because they thought that they were better, and I wasn't weighing them against me, and he's not weighing other people are doing. This is literally, I love the word evolution, because if a business does not evolve, then I tell people, I get into business talks all the time. Amazon sold books online objectively, and he left the job, you know, making $300,000 a year to foundation sell a book online that he didn't write. So in this case, I love that, you know, we came in here with Tim, you come in bullish, and then you start learning the business, you go, whoa. So this barrel's how old? This one's this, and you got it from where? Oh, and okay, no, that's just
and everything's a piece of history. So it's not like I can get another one of these barrels. It's one and done on everything in here.
That's what I've learned too, just from me. So you go, it has to be quality. It has to be the right choice. It has to, or we got to learn something. So stay tuned, because you know we'll try to kind of show you what he's thinking in the next. But I'll definitely be back Friday. and he'd give us some notes. I learned about notes from him as well. So get this, we bought 3 new bottles the other day, and only one had notes.
What do you mean?
So
you bought
3 bottles of whiskey from the store, analyzing them, learning from Tim at the whiskey blendery, and
you try to blend them.
Yeah, it was awful. it was awful. So wait till we do a blending with him. I'm gonna just bring 3 bottles and say, oh, man, let's walk him through how to figure this one out. But there's only one. Even I was like, I'm looking at the bottle now. Oh man, that's crazy. This one don't tell you nothing. This one tells you a little bit. This one is right. It's just too much, people. But what I love about too much, that means we got a lot of content coming, people. So stay tuned. That's good, man.